Salutations, Jones Nation. Welcome back to the show, and today we are reviewing Venom.
Venom? The worst movie since Halle Berry and Catwoman or Ben Affleck in Daredevil?
No, it is not critically that bad. The critics are a little over-dramatic on this one, especially on Rotten Tomatoes.
But over-dramatic? What are you talking about?
They are killing this film, and I don't think it is justified. I mean, this is not a good film, don't get me wrong.
Right.
There's a lot of issues with the film, but it is not that bad. I mean, come on, like, The Amazing Spider-Mans were worse than this movie, I think. I mean, this movie's getting crushed. I don't think it deserves it, and we're going to tell you why.
Now, this is basically a reboot of the whole Venom series. So if you're looking for Topher Grace, sorry, he's not there anymore. Tom Hardy steps in as Eddie Brock, does a really good job. He does the best he can in this movie, and the graphics have gotten significantly better for Venom himself.
Even though some of the times the green screen wasn't the best, and you could see that, but most of the time it was still fairly good. I mean, not their usual Marvel top quality, graphics, but it got the job done. At least Venom looked good for the most part.
I know, it kind of startled me at the beginning when they had the Marvel comic book graphic going on. I went, this is a Marvel movie and everybody's talking bad about it? Well, turns out it's just Marvel adjacent.
Yeah.
They're in association with Marvel, but without the brain trust that Marvel clearly has.
Yeah. And so this movie is about a guy named Eddie Brock. He is a reporter, and after a series of unfortunate events, is down on his luck and loses everything. And while trying to get his job back, he accidentally gets in touch with Venom, or it touches him, and now he is Venom and Eddie Brock at the same time. And I think the best parts of this movie were when Eddie Brock and Venom were talking, to each other, having interactions or conversations or whatever. Those parts, they were funny. It was fun to watch. Tom Hardy does a great job. Venom's voice is spot on. Venom, actually looks like Venom from the comics. So it's all matches really well together. That part is probably the only good part, but at least that part was fun.
Yes, and be careful. Never call Venom a parasite. He finds that insulting. He's a symbiote.
Yeah. He also likes tater tots and chocolate, FYI. Yeah.
Frozen tater tots. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as he gets them.
Yeah, now, on the rating, like the R rating PG-13, it definitely should have been R-rated, and it looked like they cut out a lot of stuff from the movie, like a lot of, executions or, moments in action where you about to see something really, R-rated. It cuts off right before that. And you can tell it does it over and over again, and that definitely got old. And it just kind of, it's okay to let the movie go a little further, let it become R-rated. I think that would really put the movie...
I think that was its biggest misstep. Rumors have it that up to 40 minutes were cut to get it down from an R rating to a PG-13. And there were numerous scenes that just felt cut short to avoid the R-rated part. Or you'd have scenes where some kind of spear cutting device would go through a human and there'd be no blood, and you kind of felt like you were watching the dailies for a film and they had forgotten to put in the special effects. So they were so busy trying to get this movie to be PG-13 for some future tie-in to Spider-Man probably, that it threw itself off. But
yeah, I think they went PG-13 just so the audience watching this also probably watched Spider-Man, and then later on it'll be a lot easier to blend a PG-13 anti-hero against a PG-13 hero rather than an R-rated versus PG-13. But they shouldn't have done that, but there's not much we can do at this point.
Like I said, the brain trust just isn't there. Once you leave the MC universe, it's over.
Yeah, it goes downhill from there. At least they're not in the DC universe.
But all the people just smashing it, I think, have just gotten so used to the high quality that the MCU is putting out that they're jumping on it, or maybe they're jumping on it to be act cool. I mean, if we had a time machine and we went back to 2004, this would be a really good movie. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's 2018, and we know how it can be.
Now, if they had this Venom with Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3, that would have been interesting. Besides the fact that movie sucked, that's a whole different story. But
Spider-Man cried during that movie, and I felt like crying that I had paid to go see it.
Yeah, and
I throw them off when I do this.
Yeah. The script, the storytelling, everything except for Venom and Eddie Brock himself was not good. I mean, the girlfriend, not a lot of chemistry at all. I didn't like that sub story. Anything with the villain was not scary. He was just some young guy, rich guy, and he's secretly evil. Big whoop. We see all the time. And there was no character still other than Eddie Brock and Venom. I said if we could copy and paste, or just cut him out, put him in a new movie, new script, it could have been a lot better.
Now, how did you feel about watching Venom French kiss Eddie Brock? I mean, when I first heard that, I was like, okay, is he just licking his face and you're over? Nope. Full on lip lock, tongue kiss. OMG.
It was hot.
That's one word for it. Or not is another good word. But
I think Venom was just trying to do a solid for his bro. He knew that he wanted to be with the girl, so
it was a
do him a solid, yeah.
A little bromance thing. It wasn't a real kiss, but yeah. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah. And what do you think of the final sequence, the fights, the final confrontation?
Well, I mean, I had the final resolution in my head the whole time, wondering why he didn't just wait and do that. But hey, they had a budget, they wanted to use it, besides all that money they were saving by not making it R-rated. Mm-hmm. But how did you like the movie overall?
See, that's an iffy question right there. Overall I didn't really like the movie. I mean, it was very meh, very average. I mean, probably maybe slightly below average. I mean, it was, compared to today's standards with the MCU, it's it's probably below average. But I really liked Eddie Brock and Venom, and that brought it up for me. It's one of those things where, like Predator, you really like the characters, but you hate the storyline, and the story could have been so much better, but you really like the characters, so you're kind of along for the ride. And you can't just hate this movie outright or completely dislike it, because it's not the worst movie ever, and the character is good.
I mean, I actually enjoyed it on some levels, just because I'd heard so much bad. Everybody was bashing so hard. I was braced, for something awful, and it was okay. It was It was entertaining. It was fun. I'll bet you if they do a director's cut on DVD or something down the road, it could actually be solidly above average.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to wait for a director's cut down the road and pay extra for it, and that's not going to fix the movie that's out in theaters right now,
right?
Unfortunately.
But now remember, this is Marvel adjacent movie, so there will be 2 credit scenes. Mm-hmm. And what did you think of the first one?
Well, I mean, I want to see that Venom movie. That's all I can say from that credit scene. They could just completely cut this whole story and just go, all right, here's Eddie and Venom, and then there's this story. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
Skip the whole origin. I don't care. This movie sucked. Let's see that next movie.
The second credit scene is just your basic fun, doesn't do anything. But that first one, it's short and sweet. Make sure you don't get up and walk out. I mean, come on, people. 10 years now, don't get up and walk out on Marvel adjacent movies.
Now, as a heads up, the second clip is for the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's not related to Venom. I'm not going to say anything about the clip itself, but it's like a extended scene trailer thing to get you a little hyped for the movie, which I'm excited to see anyway, but,
Yeah, I mean, it was actually such a long cut. It felt like one of those little shorts that Pixar likes to put with their movies.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you are interested at all, I would say stay for that. That's fine. But of course, you got to stay for the first clip. Come on.
Got to.
Now, would you pay money out of your pocket to see this movie?
If it was $5 Ticket Tuesday at AMC, yes. Full price, if I was a Venom fan, or my kid wants to see it to set up for whenever they bring him into the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, I can't recommend paying money out of your pocket. And as a movie critic, I can't full-heartedly say, even with a movie pass, you should go see it. But if you're a MCU fan or a Spider-Man fan or a Venom fan, I can't say don't go see it. I mean, Venom himself and Eddie Brock are a ton of fun to watch on screen. And I mean, besides the story sucking, you can at least enjoy watching them. I wasn't bored in the movie. I enjoyed watching just Eddie, doing his thing. But I can't, as a movie as a whole, not good. But it has fun moments, and sometimes it was laughably bad, which helps when you know what to expect.
But it's not as bad as the 27 or whatever it's getting right now on Rotten Tomatoes. It's better than that. I mean, don't get scared off. It's not the John Gotti movie or whatever. It's fun. It's just there's such a high standard for superhero movies these days.
Yeah, and that's the main issue with trying to do something like this and not being full MCU, Sony and MCU. And if you're not gonna write good script, then don't rush the movie out and put Marvel on it, because people are gonna crush it if it's not good. And
right.
That's what's happening here. A movie that's not that bad is getting destroyed just because of the label on it. But hopefully this movie will make just enough money to make a sequel so we can get a better Venom movie, because I dig the character. I dig Tom Hardy and the role. I want to see more, but we'll see what we can get after a few weeks, if we actually make the money.
Hopefully we'll make the money. Hopefully we will get the sequel, and hopefully they'll learn from Deadpool that you can do R-rated and still make a ton of money and make a lot of fans happy.
Exactly. Well, on that note, guys, thank you for checking out the review. If you enjoyed, drop a like. If you dislike, drop a dislike. Let us know why in the comments. And if you plan on seeing this movie, let us know. If you don't plan on seeing this movie, let us know. If the Rotten Tomato score has scared you off, let us know. And if you've seen it and want to discuss it, let's have a discussion in the comments.
And don't forget to follow us at the Jones Boys Review on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes. And until then, guys, adios, nation.
Peace. Let's eat their heads, Eddie.